Your growing animal is made out of something called a super absorbent polymer. It's actually fairly similar to the material found inside a baby's nappy, and it's really good at soaking up liquids, just like the material inside a baby's nappy. So super absorbent just means it can soak up loads and loads of water. Now the difference between this and the material inside the nappies is that the material inside the nappies soaks up water really quickly. This soaks up water quite slowly. So you have to put it in a cup or a glass of water for a few days, and what will happen is water is going to go inside this, kind of like a sponge soaking up loads and loads of water, and it's going to steadily get bigger. It's kind of like when you fill something with water. So if we were to fill a water balloon with water, it has to get bigger, doesn't it, to be able to fit all that water in. That's kind of like what happens to this, except instead of just going inside and blowing up like a water balloon, it goes inside all of it. So there'll be some water in the pincers at the front. I've got a little lobster. There'll be some in each of the legs, some in the lobster's tail. In fact, it'll be all over the animal that it soaks up the water. So the whole thing gets bigger. And what you'll see at the end is going to be kind of floppy, and that's because it's got lots of water in it. It will probably feel a little bit wet. That's because it's got lots of water in it. And it will be a lot heavier than it is at the moment, because water is actually quite heavy. So once this has got lots of water inside it, it's going to feel a little bit heavier. So pop it in some water, and you can watch it each day, and hopefully each day it will have soaked up some more water, and gradually it's going to get bigger and bigger. When you take it out of the water, the opposite thing happens. Water always tries to go from where there's lots of water to where there's not very much water. So when you put this in the water wants to go into it because there's not very much water in here. In fact, there's no water in there to begin with. But when you take it out of the water and put it somewhere dry, the water now wants to come out because it wants to go from somewhere where there's lots of water, so this will have lots of water inside it, to somewhere where there's no water, which will be out in the dry air. So when you take it out, exactly the same thing will happen, but in reverse. So it's going to get smaller, the water comes out, it's going to get lighter, and it should shrink back down to this size. So why does this work? Well, because it's a super absorbent polymer, and because water wants to go from where there's loads of water to where there's not very much water or no water at all.